all with this little thing. Holy crap.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video here, I'm going to cover the two types of saws that you would want to carry inside your dry bag here. Just to give you an idea, we as kayakers, you know, for people that aren't kayakers that watch my channel, we always need some sort of saw with us because we need something light, portable, and compact, something that can easily fit down inside the dry bag. And the biggest use for us as paddlers is, number one, is clearing strainers out of the way of a rapid. So let's say a rapid has a big tree or log in it and it has a strainer across it. We can clean a strainer out, or if we've got a pinned boat, we can possibly cut the boat out. The number two option that a lot of us don't think about is those shuttle, like those backwood shuttle drives. Holy crap, have you ever been, if anyone's that's done these backwood drives, there'll be a tree down across the road and we look around and no one has a saw, or the only saw they have on them, a little saw like this, but if that tree, you know, is like that big around, we're kind of screwed. So it's great to have something that could potentially, we could cut that tree out of the road and clear up, or a trail, if there's a good trail and we want to cut down a trail where we don't have to portage around through like underbrush or something like that. So those are a few of the options that why you would want to carry a saw on you. I know not everybody has one, and I don't take it on every run. It's something that I would carry on these backwoods creek runs. The saw that I used to carry exclusively was just this kind of a cheapy folding saw. You know, it's cheap, but it's actually a really good saw. Look at those teeth on that thing. This thing would cut really good, but it's very limited, and also it's kind of big. You know, looking at the size of this thing, it's kind of big and it's heavy to fit down inside of a dry bag. I picked this thing up along the way and I think I paid like 10 bucks for it. This is just a basic kind of folding hand saw, and this saw obviously this saw's actually, you know, got a few boats out throughout the days. That one's come in handy. It's actually saved the day a few times. But something else that I'd come across is something called a pocket chainsaw. I'm going to go ahead and break down the features of this thing and why you want to go with this instead of this. So number one, as you can see, this thing, look at this thing easily, you could cram this thing. I could fit that in the front pocket of my pants. It fits inside my hand right here. This thing is so small and compact. It's just a few ounces, maybe around about 3 to 4 ounces. And when you get into it, you could even put this inside your life vest, down inside the front pocket, believe it or not. It's so small and compact. But looking at the size of that and looking at the size of this, you know, it's a no-brainer here. But let me show you guys why this thing is so, what makes this thing so good. Kind of, it's not the cheapest ones. There's some out there for like $5-6. They'll have little key rings right here. One use and you're toast. This one actually has a solid grommet right here, a solid metal piece. You can see it's stitched. It's got a good stitching on it. It's got very bright orange handles, so when you do drop it or lay it down somewhere, it's easy to find, which, you know, that's definitely a must. But check out what this thing is. This one, it's similar to a chainsaw blade, not exactly like a chainsaw blade, because this is designed to be cut in both directions. A chainsaw blade only goes one way. This is designed to go back and forth like that. Cut pulling that way, cut pulling that way. Another reason why you would want to carry a pocket chainsaw is the amount of like girth of tree you can get this thing around. You could go around a tree, you know, solidly that big around. Where this one right here, tops of like small brush and limbs, but if you need to cut a log, you could cut a log that's basically a whole entire tree down with this thing. We as kayakers, this action we can do all day long in theory. Well, some of us can. And so you're getting kind of a workout. You're getting a warm-up before the river. Another reason why you'd want to carry this over this is the fact that 2 people can use this. So you can kind of share that load, that workload. I don't know how many times I've been out there and I'm over there cutting a tree down and everybody's just standing around watching. It'd be great to have somebody over here and you could grab that side and someone else could grab that side and look at the length of a tree. Look at the cutting length that we have now. If you had 2 people and you stretch that like that across, I think that's 26 inches. So you could cut a tree that big around with 2 of us, one on each side. That's another feature that makes this thing a no-brainer. One thing I had found using it, if you do start cutting bigger logs, you do want to hammer some sort of little wedge in there, because this thing will bind up on you, and it works extremely well when you're coming at an angle from the side or from the top. So if we're on top of a log, and say there's a log across the river and I need to cut this section, I could easily cut right here and then rope the other half out of the way. So I'm sitting on top of it, cutting right here. You don't want to cut a live tree, because obviously it puts you right into the fall zone, which could be, you know, a bad day for you. So I recommend not cutting down live trees with this. But if you do have to cut a big log, try to remember to put a little wedge. You could just break you off a twig and stick a wedge up in there, so your chain doesn't bind up in there and you can't get it out, or you, trust me, you'll be in trouble. Make sure you keep this thing lubed up real good. Spray it down with WD-40, or you could put you some 3-in-1 oil on it after every use. This one's oiled up already. I try to keep it oiled up and then stick it down inside the bag there. So always oil it up. If it's oiled up, it's going to go through a tree a lot cleaner. After every use, you want to oil this thing up so it doesn't get rusted and dull up on you. And I'll leave a link in the description on where you could pick one of these up. This one right here is, I think there's better ones out there. There's one called the Nordic pocket saw, but that thing's $50. I'll leave a link to it also. If you want to go with the high dollar one, you can. And the Nordic one, the difference is, from what I've seen, the Nordic one had more teeth per rung. This one has, I think, 11 cutting spots, which this one cut just fine for me. I had no issues at all. I'll cut a small little limb and then I'll cut a bigger log and kind of show you the difference on that. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's do some cutting. I wanted to come up here more off the river. I found some deadfall. I didn't want to cut down a fresh tree. This one is a dead tree, so I know all you tree huggers out there that might be giving me shit. This would be like a type of tree that would easily clog up a rapid and make it very dangerous. A tree about this size. These are these types of trees that are like hidden under stuff, or it's just sticking out where we want to cut it out. So this is a good sized tree, maybe in circumference there. You fold it out like this. So I'm going to go underneath like this and start it like that. Need to get inside those. Probably around about 38 seconds. Very easy to use. I feel like I could cut down a tree way larger with one of these. I cut that small one, so I just was curious real quick if I could cut a bigger one like this. Look at the size of this log. So if this tree was across a river, this would be an interesting one to kind of get out of the way. So I'm going to get the little saw, the little pocket saw. Let's get to town. Let's see if this thing will cut that. It's a little tough to get started. Wow, all with this little thing. Holy crap. Look at that. Look at how much I cut with just this little hand chainsaw here. You know what? I think a man could build him a house with one of these. Think of the size of logs you could cut using that thing. I'm impressed. You guys leave in the comments below if you've used some of these little things right here, if you would recommend these. Yeah, so I packed it all back up there. There is no way. I don't even want to attempt to cut this with this. It would take me way too long. When you can see this one wouldn't even cut. This would take forever to cut this, where just this little pocket saw right here cut through this like a hot knife through butter. So I highly recommend this little thing over a folding saw. I'll leave links below, guys, where you could pick one of these things up. It's got a little belt loop on it, but I don't think you'd ever use that. I think you just put it down inside there. Carry it in your backpack, carry it around. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.